Good morning and welcome to Michigan Farm and Garden. I'm Jody Pollock-Newsome and I'm your host. We have a great show lined up for you this morning. This morning we're going to talk to you about exports, their importance in our state, and we're going to introduce you to the Ag Exporter of the Year. Stay tuned. Good morning, and again, welcome to Michigan Farm and Garden. You know, we talk about the importance of exports in our state. We certainly know how important agriculture is to us in Michigan, looking at a $90 billion plus a year industry. When we look at our export industry, we're looking at a nearly $3 billion a year industry. Certainly very important to our state and very important to our state's economy. With me to talk a little bit more about that this morning is Jamie Smitko-Summers. She is with the Michigan Department of Ag and Rural Development. She is the International Marketing Manager, and we're going to talk about that export arena, talk a little bit about some of the activities she's been up to. She's been very busy out there traveling and looking out for us in our state to see what we can do and how we can really capitalize on those export markets. Then we also have a great opportunity this morning. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot because I want to make sure we have time to make this announcement, but we are going to introduce you to the Ag Exporters of the Year. Very, very interesting company when we look at the opportunities for our state and certainly when we look at our potential. But our Ag Exporter of the Year is Connor Sports. We have two folks from that company. They're going to tell us a little bit about those products and then also really talk about that when we look at those export opportunities. Conrad Stromberg is from the company. We're going to talk about what it is that they do and really look at that flooring. How does it work and how does it come together? Then I also have with me Rob Grome, and we're going to talk about exports, how you develop those markets, how do you grow those markets, and certainly when you look at a product like flooring, how do you find some of those opportunities? Then I will wrap the show up with a great pumpkin recipe for pumpkin pancakes. Folks, it's going to be a great show. Stay tuned, and we will be back with our first guest right after the Michigan Farm and Garden Fact of the Week.
It's time for the Michigan Farm and Garden Fact of the Week.
Michigan's agriculture exports in 2011 totaled nearly $2.8 billion in food and ag products. Michigan's top export markets are Canada, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, and Taiwan. Ag exports help boost farm prices and income while also supporting nearly 20,000 jobs both on the farm and off the farm in food processing, storage, and transportation. For more information, go to michigan.gov/ag-export. And welcome back. We are back with Jamie Smitko-Summers. Jamie, welcome back.
Hi, Jody. Thanks for having me back.
It's good to have you here, and you've been busy.
Yes. It's been a busy couple months. We've had a lot of things going on in the export arena. Recently traveled with Governor Snyder and Director Jamie Clover Adams to China to look at opportunities there. It was our second trip into the Chinese market, and certainly lots and lots of opportunity within that market. And we also had one of our previous Ag Exporters of the Year on that trip, Cherry Central. So they were looking at opportunities within the Chinese market for their products.
Well, and I think that's so exciting when you look at the opportunities and really look at what you're doing. You're not looking, you know, ag export, that's a very small component when we look at that Department of Ag, but you've really been able to grow some of those markets.
Yeah, you know, we see China coming on very strongly. As you mentioned earlier, you know, we're almost nearing $3 billion in food and ag exports, and we see that continuing to grow each year with anywhere between 10 and 20% growth. So it's just phenomenal, you know, what those exports do and how they really help our economy and our agriculture and food industry here in the state of Michigan.
Well, and I think it's been so nice too to have that linkage with the Department of Ag, just looking at what hurdles need to be overcome when folks start to look at exports, how do you get into the markets, even from the packaging to the payment. There is a lot really involved in that process.
There is a lot. You know, there's documentation, certificates that they have to get, making sure they get paid. But we certainly work with companies on a one-on-one basis, and then also offer seminars to help educate companies that are either looking at exporting or active exporters. We just held a seminar in August that covered some of the basics on how to export and documentation needed, how you get a certificate of free sale, how you get a phytosanitary certificate. So we're certainly there to help and make it as easy as possible for companies.
Well, and I know, when we talk about our state, certainly look at the economy, that exports and those growing ag opportunities have really helped pull the state through.
Yeah, they definitely have. It's amazing that, over about 20,000 jobs are attributed to ag exports. So that's, a lot of people that are being employed in our state because of ag exports, and certainly our Ag Exporter of the Year this year and previous winners employ a number of people because of those exports. So that's great, for our economy in our state.
Well, and I think too, to have that linkage, and you talk about the workshops, it is a scary thing to be an entrepreneur and thinking about getting into those markets and how do you compete, what do you need to do, and to really be able to move those through the process. It's just been a great fit.
Yeah. And like I said, we're certainly here to help companies through that. It can seem daunting at times, but we may not always have the answers in our office, but what we try to do is connect them with either service providers or other agencies or government organizations that can help them through that process and get them to where they need to be successful at exporting.
Well, and I know too, one thing you guys look at, certainly Ag Export of the Year, that's one of those programs that really has grown, and every year you just find amazing companies in the state to really highlight and to hear their stories. It just always seems to kind of reinvigorate us and get us excited.
Yeah, it does. And we've had some amazing, companies from all different products and commodities throughout the state, both food and fiber plants. We've had Walter's Gardens that did perennials, Graceland Fruit, Cherry Central with a lot of fruit products. We've had Honey Bear Canning with fruit and asparagus, Cooperative Elevator with dry beans, and now, Connor Sports this year. We were happy to have someone from Michigan doing something with a fiber product with, hard maple from Michigan, and it's really great. And I don't think people realize the diversity that we often talk about in agriculture and the industry, and certainly they represent part of that diversity.
Well, and I think too, when we look at the strengths, we talk about the diversity, we know it's important, but when we look at those strengths and just look at the ingenuity of all the different products that we have, it's absolutely amazing.
It is. And the companies that are really do well and exceed, and our previous winners are companies that really take hold of exporting and make it part of their company culture. So it's everybody from those working at the plant all the way up to management, sales, that really embrace that and make it part of their culture and really move that forward. So these are all outstanding companies, and our winner this year is certainly right in there with the previous winners as a company that really embraces it and does everything they can to pursue the export opportunities that are out there.
Well, and I have to say too, is we always have the companies come on and talk, and the energy, and like you say, just embrace it. The energy, the enthusiasm, getting fired up to go ahead, talk about what they've been able to do. It's pretty much inspiring, and I would say pretty motivational for other companies to think, I can really do this.
Yeah, and that's what we try to get them out and to do interviews and to speak at some of our seminars, because we do hope that it does motivate other companies and small and medium-sized companies that, to see a lot of these companies started out very small like them, or in some cases are still small, and they have really succeeded at exporting. So to show others that they can do that as well, and there's really great mentors out there.
Well, and Jamie, if there are folks that are out there that say, boy, we talk about exports, we're a little bit interested, is the best thing to get in touch with you, to try and get to a seminar? How do I get started so, I can become the next Connor Sports?
Yep. We have a lot of information on our website, so that's a great spot to start about upcoming events, links to educational information, both seminars and online education that they can walk through at their own pace, and then just give us a call as well, and we'll be more than happy to help walk them through that and tell them what steps that they should take to start exporting.
Great. Well, Jamie, thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
We're
you,
very
Jody.
excited, and we appreciate you bringing Connor Sports to us.
Yes.
I think we're going to learn a lot and get a lot better appreciation.
I think you will. They're a great company.
Folks, certainly we know how important ag exports are in our state. Lots of opportunities to get out there and really capitalize. And if you have questions or have ideas, make sure you visit our website and we will get you information so you can get a hold of Jamie. We'll be back right after this message.
The Cherry Marketing Institute wants you to know about tart cherries. Cherry's red color comes from powerful antioxidants. Available year-round, it's easy to incorporate cherries into your daily diet. Visit choosecherries.com.
Michigan's 1,000 apple growers take pride in producing delicious apples from one generation to the next. From the Great Lakes come great flavors. Look for locally grown Michigan apples.
Have Jody speak at your next agricultural event. Go to jodylive.com.
And welcome back. We are back with Conrad Stromberg of Connor Sports, plant manager. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Jody.
I'm going to have you start. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I want to talk about this flooring because it's just such a cool product that you guys have.
Okay. I'm the plant manager for a hard maple flooring company that's located in Amasa, Michigan. And Amasa is just a small town in central upper Michigan, 250 people. And our plant actually employs 110 people that actually manufacture flooring that gets sold all over the world. We make flooring that sells for grade schools, high schools, universities, professional basketball floors. Some of our strip flooring gets sold with unique subfloor systems, and some of it is portable floors, 4x7 panels. If you're familiar with the NCAA and the NCAA tournament, we actually will have 25 floors out there this year.
Wow.
Portable floors, yeah. And it's people up there are very proud to be a part of that, to see people get so much pleasure and enjoyment out of not only playing on the floors, but actually watching the tournament and rooting for their teams.
Well, and I would think too, the logistics for moving some of that stuff around and getting all those floors ready to get those shipped out for that's got to take quite a process as well.
It sure is. But we've got some of our own employees from Amasa, some employees from Chicago, some employees from different areas. They will put these floors down and take them up, and they do a very good job with it. This Quick Lock Portable can actually be put down in about 2 hours' time and can be picked up in about 2 hours' time.
Wow. So you ship it for the events, for
Yes.
some of those that are the portable, and then when it's done, does it come back to you?
Yes, most of them do. And then we'll refinish the floors and sell them as a used floor to a university, high school, whatever. The men's and women's Final Four floors, when that game is done, that floor is offered to the team that won the tournament.
Oh, wow.
And in some cases, maybe in most cases, they'll buy that floor.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and especially too, you know, and we've seen in sports where there's the hockey game and then you turn around and, you know, you have the basketball, and it's just amazing to me that you can do this in 2 hours.
Yeah, it is. And there's different venues where you're right. There might be a hockey rink, and they'll play hockey one night. They'll put 4x8 sheets of foam over that ice to make sure that the moisture and the ice is held, and we can lay this floor down and play a game on the next night. It's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Well, and I'm going to have you kind of walk us through and tell us a little bit about the flooring and kind of how this works, because it's such a unique product.
Well, this is our Quick Lock portable floor, and you notice the top pieces there, that's your hard maple strip. You've got a subfloor underneath it. You've got a plastic or polyurethane groove that matches with this steel tongue on this
We'll
side.
turn this way so we can kind of see that
Yeah,
groove.
this would be the groove, and it matches with this steel tongue. It fits together nice and snug so that the floor doesn't move, and there's actually a pin that drops into here that holds the two steel tongues together. And these 4x7 panels, I mean, it's once you get a good crew, it's pretty easy to put them down. So.
Well, and when you're looking at something like this, I mean, I think one of the questions is, why Michigan? Why do you look at Michigan, sourcing Michigan? You know, what's our unique niche?
Sure. Well, Michigan's forests grow probably the best and the most high quality maple in the upper Midwest. And it's because we're above the 35th parallel, because our seasons are short, because our winters are pretty long. When the maple grows, the grain is very dense and it's very resilient. So it's and consistent in color. So it's a perfect surface for sports surfaces, and especially sports surfaces that get put down on basketball courts. Because it's so dense, the performance, the ball bounce, the deflection, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful for a playing surface for basketball and for basketball players.
Wow. Well, and I think it's neat too, because, you know, Jamie mentioned, we always think of more of the food side, but to look at some of these and to look at the fibers, we really do have some neat opportunities, it seems, in our state, and to be able to capitalize on that, and especially when you're looking at some of those venues, that's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting.
Well, and certainly when we're looking at the local industries, I'm sure that means a lot when you're looking at those areas and really looking at an economy for 110 employees. That's a huge boost.
Oh, it certainly is. You know, we're the largest full-time employer in Iron County, and one thing that's unique about us is we're not automated to any degree. And the folks up there handle flooring. They manufacture flooring and handle flooring almost the same way that it's been done for the last 40 years. And you can actually say that every strip of flooring that you see that goes out on a basketball court is from the raw material to the finished material. It's handled many times by folks that are cutting out defects, sorting, grading to make sure that we have an exceptional quality product before it leaves our facility.
Well, and I think that's so interesting. And when you're looking at products like this, you mentioned, you know, you have the portable, those that you're looking at that are more, I should say, that aren't portable, that's more of the gym or their school, that kind of thing.
Sure.
What are you looking like for a product life for some of those kinds of things?
I don't know if I understood the question quite right.
Well, just
Sorry.
looking at, like, I know you have the portables that you go ahead and that you ship back,
Yes.
and you kind of rework those and then
Yes.
have for schools and those. I guess I'm looking at what is that turnaround when you're looking at those customers and looking at some of those different products that you have out there.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, when we bring back a portable floor, as a for instance, we had 15 floors out there last year that we brought back. We sold those as used floors, and I think we only have one floor left.
Wow.
So it's a process that continually works for us.
So certainly when you're looking at that and looking at the markets and being able to turn that stuff, looking at export seems like a pretty good fit to look for what are some of those other growing markets out there.
Well, very much so. And our export market has continued to grow, in particular with portable floors. You know, we have capacity to probably build twice as many portable floors as we do now, and we think that's a growing opportunity.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Conrad, thank you so much.
Well, thank
I
you.
appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we're going to have Rob come up, and then he's going to tell us how he's going to grow those markets so we can keep that plant going more. How's that sound?
Great, that sounds very good. Thank you.
Folks, just a little bit more information. We certainly know how important the opportunities are that we have in agriculture, but I think it's important to hear what we have for some of these great companies and some of these innovative ideas right here in our state. And welcome back. We are back with Rob Grom, International Operations Manager. There we go.
There we go.
Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It is very exciting, and to hear more about the product and just to see some of the things we're doing in our state, it pretty much gets you excited.
Oh, absolutely. We're thrilled to have been receiving this honor, Exporter of the Year. I mean, the last 5 years for me, it's just been a grind, and trying to get the product out there, get the brand awareness, it's nice to finally receive something more than just the orders that we've been receiving. So.
Well, and when we talk a little about that too, Rob, I mean, how do you start looking at some of those international, because, you know, Jamie said it, if you're going to export and you're going to do it well, it has to be a company-wide commitment.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a challenge to get out into the international market space, but you can look at, for us, sport federations have helped us, aligning ourselves with the governing body of sports and helping them make their sport better by using our products and developing new products for performance attributes. That's been recognized and that gets passed along to end users. So, you know, for a recommendation to anyone who's looking, you know, try to find an association that you can belong to that will help also share your word.
Well, and I think that is so important because you don't, you know, food shows, we know about a lot of the food shows, but looking at that sports side, that does seem to be a little trickier to get in. But I think you said it, once you get in and you have that great product, I think it makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're seeing a shift a little bit from soccer as being the #1 sport, and basketball is becoming very popular as well. So it's helped us just by people learning the game and having a chance with a ball and a hoop. Their dreams start to skyrocket, and then now when they're looking at playing for a championship, they're thinking of Connor Sports because we've been so around all the championships throughout different kinds of sports.
Well, and that's one of the things too, I think we want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys have done and then some of the future places we might be able to look to see some of the floors at some of your events.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. As I was speaking towards earlier, we've joined a lot of different federations, International Basketball Association, International Handball Federation, World Squash, Badminton, to name a few. And these bodies have taken us in and certified our products that are made in Michigan that Conrad was speaking towards, and are using them for their tournaments and their competitions. So when a national government like China needs a championship court or a tournament court, they're able to find us and call us up and place an order.
Well, and that just seems, when you look at that, you know, working through that process to be able to get those products shipped and to handle all those pieces, you know, I know that's something that doesn't just happen in a few hours.
No, I mean, we're manufacturing in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so you can imagine the logistical nightmare. We're taking a truck that's coming out of Minneapolis, likely, getting it loaded in our facility, then going back to go on a rail. That's going to take us to either seaside, whether it's East Coast or West Coast, depending on where we're going to go. And then you got to get it across the ocean.
So do you guys do mainly like ships, that kind of, as you're looking at the cargo?
Absolutely, yeah. They're container loaded and put on a vessel, and then it's about a 4-week journey, depending on which way it goes. So time is of the essence, as the saying goes, and we always pressure manufacturing to get the product manufactured a little bit quicker, and they adapt very well. And I think some of that things that Conrad was talking about really, you know, holds true.
Well, and I know too, when we look at the product and talk, and one of the buzzwords that's out there a lot is sustainability. We are certainly looking at, you know, with you guys in Connor Sports, a very sustainable product.
Absolutely, yeah. Luckily, the products that we're harvesting, or not harvesting, but manufacturing, they're grown from the ground. The only thing that they need is water and sun, which is naturally provided. And then we bring the trees in and get them down to a floor. And then after the life of the floor, maybe 42 years into it, or 45, if you're maintaining it well enough, you're able to pull it back out and recycle that material.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. And looking at those markets, I mean, what are some of the things or goals, I guess, that you guys are looking at for the future as you move ahead? Because, you know, I kind of think Conrad said, we have some more potential.
Oh, yeah.
We can look at some more manufacturing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, just from what I've experienced in the last 5 years, there's a huge potential, and the international market space is where that potential is going to be. I think with some of the alliances that we've done recently, becoming the official technical supplier for FIBA, the International Basketball Association, is one of them. They're the governing body that's going to host the World Cup of basketball next year in Madrid. So we're going to be building 6 courts for them and hopefully getting some good traction from that event.
Well, I know Olympics are coming up and all that, and
yeah,
that's kind of cool too.
Of course, yeah. The Olympics in 2016, you know, we missed it in Chicago, but Rio got it, and you know, we've opened up some lanes to get down there, and you know, we'll be featuring a U.S. product that was made in Michigan there.
Well, and if there are folks that want to learn a little bit more, or if you have a school or something like that, even if you're one of those more local markets, what do people need to know? How do they get a hold of you? How do you find out more?
Really, the best is to go on the web and use our website. You can get a look at the different kind of product offerings that we have, and also locations where you can go to a design and performance center where you'll be able to walk around and test out different floor systems that we have on the ground. Instead of taking you across the state of Michigan, we'll bring it right to one location for you.
Well, it seems to make it pretty easy, and it just sounds like you guys have done a great job. And the award here is absolutely gorgeous. I think the question is, whose office does it go in?
Well, right now we have it on the fireplace in our Google room where we come up with some of these great ideas. But you know, I think I'm going to bring it into my office for a little bit.
I think looking at international operations manager, it kind of makes sense that you could get to have it there.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Well, and I have to say that's one thing I said when we have it on the table. I don't want it too close to the edge. We want it right here so we can take good care of it.
Well, I appreciate your, taking good care of it.
I'm trying. Rob, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations. You guys are doing a great job, and it is so fun to see some of the opportunities and to see the innovative folks that we have in our state, and we just really appreciate it.
Well,
So
we greatly appreciate your time and having an opportunity to talk a little bit more about our company.
Great. We'll have to have you back, and you can tell us how it goes and what you're into looking at the Olympics coming up. How's that?
That's a date.
There you go. Folks, certainly we know the importance of ag in our state. I want to make sure that we also recognize all those opportunities that we have and all those great entrepreneurs that we have here in Michigan. We'll be back right after this message.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Welcome back. Certainly, folks, here we are sitting in the middle of the month. One of those, when we look at Michigan Ag, one of those areas we want to look at is certainly how we can take this nice fall weather and utilize some of the great food that we have here in our state. This is a very easy recipe looking at pumpkin pancakes. Pumpkin, certainly something that means a lot to us here in the state of Michigan. When we look at as far as acreage, what it means in economics to our state, about $15 million just in the pumpkin industry, and certainly great opportunities for cooking with pumpkins. And this time of year, who doesn't like a nice warm pancake? Basically, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna take your flour and your baking powder along with your salt, mix those together, add in your pumpkin pie spice, add in that egg. You'll want to add in some pumpkin puree. If you want them more pumpkin-y or less pumpkin, you can go ahead and certainly adjust that. Then go ahead, add molasses for some of that sweetness, and either your milk or your buttermilk, a little bit of salted butter, and then you can choose if you want pecans, hazelnuts, whatever that favorite nut is, you can add those to the recipe. Then you're gonna go ahead and make like you would just a pancake, and then go ahead and serve those. You certainly wanna make sure that you use your Michigan maple syrup to get the best pancakes possible. Very easy, and a nice thing about this too is if you are busy, you can always make extra. Go ahead, put your wax paper in between. You can freeze those, keep those in the refrigerator, and then have those throughout the week. If you would like this recipe, as always, visit us online at MichiganFarmingGarden.com, or you can send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to Michigan Farm and Garden Recipes, P.O. Box 461, Williamston, Michigan, 48895. And folks, I hope you have enjoyed the show as much as I have this weekend and this morning. So many opportunities for us here in the state of Michigan, and it is so fun to hear those good, positive stories and hear about folks and companies like Connor Sports that are making a difference in our economy, keeping our folks employed, and looking to the future at those export markets. You have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will see you back here next weekend on Michigan Farm and Garden. Bye-bye.